look at her, just keeps on getting better with her hand in mine. So we're walking by the shore.
Hey ladies, so today is going to be a little bit more laid back. I don't have any of my lighting up, just the one window over here, and I'm actually using my G7X again. I've actually been loving the Canon G7X, that's what I recorded my last video on. It's just so much easier to set up. This is going to be my breastfeeding journey video, which you guys have been waiting for forever, not as long as the birth story video. If you guys want to know what has been going on and why my videos are kind of sparse on this channel, because I know not everyone here watches our daily vlogs, just watch the one video below that I posted today because it was an update video on service dogs, stuff going on with YouTube, and so that will fill you in on why things are kind of sparse on this channel. So today I'm going to talk breastfeeding. I was not able to write down everything, but I was not going to go another week of not putting this video up for you guys. So it's just gonna be probably rambly. So where to start off? First, there's gonna be a lot of boob talk in this video. If you don't like boob talk, you probably should just click off because it's breastfeeding and breastfeeding involves boobs. Just laying it out there. So, in the beginning, Revelyn was quite a difficult one with breastfeeding. I was not able to get her latched on like initially, like right when they put her on me and they told me to try. I wasn't able to, and quite honestly, when you first try to latch your child, you have no idea what you're doing. You're in like your delivery room, and then about 2 hours after that, they move you up to the mother baby ward for our hospital, and that is where you stay the remainder of your hospital time. And I then tried to latch her on, and she did latch, but her latch was extremely shallow. Like, she barely would open her mouth, and it just was searing pain. So the next morning I did ask to have the lactation consultant come see me, and she did some like tummy time with Revelyn and some like putting her finger in her mouth to see like what she was doing sucking wise, and she said that she didn't really know what she was doing. She did have a shallow latch, and then when she looked at me, she said that I had very shallow nipples. I was like, oh great. So yeah, we're getting a little personal here, guys. Basically, that becomes an issue, especially when your baby has a shallow latch, because there's even less for them to grab onto. So we tried everything. We tried the nipple shields, we tried pumping first and then doing it, and nothing worked. I had only breastfed her 3 times, I think, and I was already in searing pain to the point of tears. It was just bad. Nothing was working. Like I said, the nipple shields didn't work. The pumping for like 5 minutes to get them to come out a little bit more and then latching her on didn't work. And I was just in so much pain, I couldn't keep her on. I had to keep unlatching her because it just hurt so bad. And she was doing damage on my left side as well. And it was only the next day, and when a lactation consultant looked, she was like, yeah, she's already doing damage. On the second night, I believe, I finally caved because she wasn't getting anything basically from me, because I wasn't able to leave her on. I caved and just said, all right, we'll just supplement her for now until my milk comes in and I can pump. But I was continuing to pump in the hospital, my colostrum, and we added the colostrum to her formula, so she was still getting some of what I had. And that was really hard for me. I bawled my eyes out in the shower that night. I just felt like I had failed as a mom, and I had been so set on breastfeeding that that was what I was going to do. I had no sleep, and just caving and saying, all right, we'll supplement her, was just really hard. I'm sure all of you moms understand that when you feel like you can't do something for your child, it's really hard. And like I said, I just cried in the shower that night because I felt like I had failed already, and I was only like a mom for 2 days. When we got home, I was not continuing. I think I maybe tried like 3 times to latch her, and it was still bad. Nothing was working. And so for 2 weeks, I was exclusively pumping. So anytime she ate, my husband would feed her the bottle and I would pump. So she was able to be on breast milk fully after, I think 5 days is when my milk came in enough that we didn't have to supplement her anymore. And so she was getting breast milk, and we used the Dr. Brown's bottles, which were perfectly fine. She had no nipple confusion, so that was good. I was just pumping 24/7, and I was getting really stressed out about that too. For any of you moms who are exclusively pumping or pump at work, seriously kudos to you. I understand how difficult it is, and just doing it for 2 weeks. And it was doing it for 2 weeks mixed with I was a new mom on very little sleep and overtired, and so it was just even harder to do. And then every time I pumped and looked over at my husband feeding her and saw the bottle, I just felt defeated and like there was something wrong with me, because it wasn't just her with the issues, it was me too. And I didn't know what to do. And my mom then, about a week and a half, I think, she said, just try putting her on now and see what she does. And so I did a couple times, and it actually didn't hurt. And weirdly enough, I think that the pumping slowly built up like the chest area. And so it didn't hurt me anymore when she did it. She was still shallow latching right when I first tried putting her back on, but it didn't hurt because of the slow buildup of the pump. So that was actually really good. Actually, oh, and I missed that part. I even had an issue of oversensitivity as well. Like even the pump when I first started using it, that was too much for me and it hurt. And it was on like the lowest setting. So I was very, very sensitive, and that was another added issue on my part. And so that was kind of the big thing that the lactation consultant wasn't sure I ever would be able to, just because of my oversensitivity. But the slow buildup of the pump, I really think attests to why I'm able to breastfeed now, because I didn't just leave it on the lowest setting. I would slowly build it up over time in that 2 weeks. And so by the time I put her on, it had built up the strength around that area, and so I was able to without pain. And her latch just got better and better over time, and now she has no issues. It was probably the longest 2 weeks of my life. And I am really glad that we were able to work it out. So this breastfeeding journey doesn't have too much to say, and I do have to end it quickly because Revelyn just woke up and she's going to want to eat. So I just kind of wanted to tell you guys like what happened, and that is basically what happened. And I really just think that the whole reason that I was able to fix my sensitivity is the slow buildup of the pump, and her latch just got better over time. And like I said, thankfully she didn't have any latching, or she didn't have any nipple confusion, so the fact that she had pacifiers and bottles and didn't bug her, and she still latched right on every time I would try in the beginning. And wow, she is screaming. She's not happy, so I'm gonna end this quick. So this video probably isn't as in-depth or as exciting as you guys would think, but hopefully it helps some of you, especially if you're going to be getting closer to having your baby and you are going to be breastfeeding for the first time. Just stick it out and work through it. Try everything you can. Don't just give up right away. Just remember that a lot of moms are not even able to breastfeed. They have supply issues, or their milk never comes in, and don't take that for granted. Do what you can, or even if you want to formula feed, don't feel like you have to. I think that is one thing that moms need to just do what is best for them, and if formula feeding is what's best for you, then do that. Just make sure that if you are really, I want to breastfeed, that you try everything you can and don't just give up. Even if you've been strictly pumping for 2 weeks, you can still fix it. I did. Just don't give up. See a lactation consultant if you want to. I actually didn't ever go see a lactation consultant. I almost did, and I was just able to fix it on my own. And with the mix of the breast pump helping build up the strength around that area, and just waiting for her to be a little bit older so she was more of an efficient eater, those two things mixed together just is what fixed it over time. So it was a pain in the butt at the beginning, but it worked out in the end, and I'm super thankful for that. Baby is screaming her head off, so I'm gonna go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to get the birth plan video up for you guys. Make sure that you check out that video on our daily vlog channel, linked in the description box below, so you guys know why that video is not up this week and what's been kind of going on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was kind of shorter and sweet and to the point, and there wasn't like a ton to tell you guys. It probably was a lot more anticlimactic than I had imagined in my mind. It definitely was. So I will see you ladies next week, and I hope you have a good rest of your week.
Look at her, just keeps on getting better with her hand in mine. So we're walking by the shore. I've got something to say, but words can't describe the way that I feel when I look in her eyes. 'Cause